Hey guys, well I found two more markers that can be used. One's called the HOMA-IR, and I think it's called the homeostatic model for insulin resistance. And the second one is actually the average daily balance of glucose. So I'm unsure. Let me put it this way. Let's go through each one at a time. And so the HOMA-IR gives you an indication of insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is essentially the body's inability to take in any more energy, and the insulin is going to have to find somewhere else to put it. So normally it throws it into fat cells and you become very obese. And the average daily balance is interesting because I had fasted for 48 hours before I had my blood drawn. And I thought I was outside of the morning effect, which I should have been. I didn't get my blood drawn till noon. And I had been up for already 5 hours. I hadn't drunk coffee. I hadn't taken in any calories. So, but maybe it was the drive over there that even though it was not a stressful drive, it was actually pretty mellow. The little walk, sitting, waiting, laughing a little bit, okay. My blood glucose turns out to be 74, which is perfectly wonderful. Nobody would complain. But when I get through the numbers, I'll show you what my average daily balance of glucose is, and I think it might shock you a little bit. It's kind of interesting. And this would be the average over 3 months. So at any given point, you go on a graph, and boom, there's my average daily glucose. Sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. And that's actually even freakier when you see this. So the HOMA-IR score is your fasting blood glucose times your fasting insulin divided by 405. All right? So I have these numbers memorized by now. So we'll take 74, which was my fasting insulin, glucose, times 3.2, which was my fasting insulin. And then we'll divide it by 405. That gives you a score of 0.58. And anything 1 and under is optimum. So I am definitely insulin sensitive, which is kind of cool. Which means if I went out and decided to, eat French fries and a hamburger and this and that and everything else, my body would immediately grab onto all those carbs, pack it into the liver and the muscles as much as they could in the form of glycogen. The next number, the formula is a little more, it's got a couple more numbers, a couple of constants. The first one is 28.7, all right, and then you have to multiply that by your HbA1c, which in my case was 3.82. Okay, go ahead and tab that out, but then you subtract 46.7. That is really weird. So my average daily glucose reading was actually 62.9. I mean, think about it. If I had a 74 at ones, when you subtract 62.9, that means I could have been 11 points under 62.9. So my glucose could have been as low as 51 at any given time. And like a lot of people are like, well, that's hypoglycemic. Well, apparently not for me. Everyone's different. And again, if it hits 74, that means in order for my red blood cells to, manage it and give us a reading of about 64, that means I would have had to be at least probably 53, 54 sometimes. So maybe while we're sleeping. I don't know when that would occur. It's obviously not while I'm up and around. I have no symptoms of hypoglycemia, not in the least. So again, two more cool numbers, and I think I'll do a video of a final rundown of every marker that I know. And unfortunately, when I started this whole thing way back in October of 2019, and I tried portion control and the walking. I'll play my fat video for you. As a matter of fact, I'll probably play it with some commentary, which will be kind of fun. No. Totally didn't get it. Didn't know what I know now, and for some reason it just didn't materialize until August 15th, when I really said, "Man, I got to do something." And I did something, and I did essentially DASH. I did what I was going to do in October of 2019. Yeah, that's when it was, October 27th, 2019. And then August 15th of 2020, I decided I need to do something because I'm just not feeling well. I got GERD, I got yada, yada, yada. Everything you're suffering, maybe, I was suffering, and I'm not suffering it anymore. But for like the first 2 months, I was reducing, but believe it or not, I think I lost the initial 5 of the 10 kilos, like within 2 days. Obviously, you eat less, insulin is going to go down a little bit, and you're going to experience diuresis, which is having to use the bathroom for the next 2-3 days, as all that water comes pouring out of your system. And maybe the next 5 kilos were hard earned, walking and doing this, but by the 3rd month, I was plateaued, 109, 112, 108, 115. Couldn't get a grasp on it, and then boom, there it is, May 15th, 2021. I decided, let's do this, and so these numbers that I'm going to share with you were at a year and fasting for 48 hours. So there you go. 2 new numbers: HOMA-IR score, that's your insulin resistance, and your average daily glucose. So I hope you can use these formulas. I hope they help you on your road to health. So we will chat again soon. Be well. Have a great one. Bye.